Om Shanti, good morning. So, welcome to the Avyakt English Murli Reading Club. And today we are reading the Murli of 1st November 81. So, here it reminds me Baba always speaks of three types of stars: the lucky stars, the stars of hope, and stars of success. So, lucky sitare, उम्मीदवार सितारे या उम्मीदों के सितारे in Hindi and Urdu rather, and third is सफलता के सितारे. So Baba says that what is the basis of having success in service? Rather, he says the secret. What is the secret of having success in service? So he speaks about a few points. First is that you need to become my helper. And that again in Urdu is Khudai Khidmatkar. We'll see what Baba says in details about that. And secondly, he says for that you have to transform your sanskars. Use your eternal sanskars, which is your Anadi sanskars, the sanskars of the soul, the embodiment of the seven main values. So let me share the screen. It's a lengthy Murli, and here we go. So the secret of success in service. In which form is Babdada seeing all of you children today? Today the world server father is seeing his serviceable children, which means he's seeing his godly helpers. Those who are godly helpers, that is Khudai Khidmatkar, automatically remember Khuda, that is God, and his service, that is Khidmat. It's a beautiful word actually, Urdu word Khizmat. They remember both the Father and service simultaneously. Generally, in the world today, when someone doesn't do a task for another person or doesn't become cooperative, they tell him, do this task in the name of God or do this in the name of Khuda, because they understand that cooperation and success will be received when something is done in the name of God. Sahyog and Safalta, they go hand in hand when done in the name of God. When it is impossible or hopeless to accomplish something, it is also said, take God's name and your work will be accomplished. So this proves that the Father came and made possible something that was impossible. And he put hope into something that was hopeless. This is why this saying is still remembered even now. That Khudai Khidmatkar. However, all of you are God's helpers. You are not those who just take the name of God, but you have become his companions to accomplish the elevated task with him. So we are not only his helpers, but Baba is really keeping us on such a high pedestal. He's saying, you all are my companions. साथी हैं स्वर्ग के स्थापना में. Therefore, every task of the children who are God's helpers has already been accomplished successfully. Nothing is impossible for God's helpers to do. Everything is possible and easy. Do God's helpers find the task of world transformation difficult? Everything has already been accomplished, which Baba says that you don't have to think that, oh, whether what I'll do, will that be successful? No, huai pada in Hindi. It's already done. I just sort of am putting my stamp of the name on it by doing it. So it's just already done. It's already accomplished. So this is your experience, isn't it? Do you constantly have the experience of having done this many times before? That is, it is nothing new. Because you're Baba's companions, the questions, will it happen or not, or how will it happen, don't arise. Everything so far has been accomplished just by taking God's name. And so every task is already successful for the children who serve with God. And this is why Bap Dada calls you children embodiments of constant success. So safalta, sada safalta ke swaroop, right? You stars of success enlighten the world with your success. So therefore, do you constantly experience yourself to be the stars of success? If whilst moving along, you sometimes experience failure or difficulty, the reason is that you just become a helper. You aren't God's helper because you separate God and His service and then become alone. So see, Baba started the Murli by saying Khuda ek khidmatgar, but Baba says raise your level to God's companion. Because if you just consider helper, you're making it separate. That oh, service is separate, God is separate. But when it is companion, it's just together. So because you separate God and His service, excuse me, and become alone, something easy becomes difficult, and your destination of success seems to be very far away. However, you are called God's helpers, therefore, do not separate that which is combined. So, combined and companion, which Baba says these two words. But you do separate it, don't you? When you constantly remember your title, the service will automatically be filled with godly magic. And let me just tell you here, we all of us experience that now that every one of you is in XYZ years of Gyan. Whenever we just do any service with this consciousness, oh, that ye to hua hi pada hai and Baba will take care, it becomes like a cakewalk. It doesn't seem like anything. And if it is like that in this consciousness, when we are doing, whatever obstacle would have to come won't even come. It just happens so easily. So all of us have this experience. But Baba says that here you have to remember your title, that you're not only helper but one step ahead, companion, and see that he's combined in every task. The reason why all the different types of obstacles come on the field of service, either for yourself or for others, is that you only consider yourself to be just a server, when in fact you are God's servers. So here you are. Sevadhari nahi, Ishwariya Sevadhari. That's another level now Baba is saying. You're not just doing service, but you're doing godly service. So therefore, by maintaining this awareness, your remembrance and service automatically become combined. And there you are, what we call Karma Yoga. This subject which we find very difficult of constant remembrance, that will also become easy if you just have this smriti, this awareness of being Ishwariya bodily service and combined. Then your constant vigilance between service and remembrance, and then there is this balance, you automatically remain blissful. That is the word of this balance, blissful and blessing. These three words Baba says. And then you constantly have blessings for others. That is, you easily maintain a merciful vision for everyone. There is no need for you to think that you should have mercy for someone. So that's what Baba is, the ocean of mercy, because he's constantly a server, constantly yogi, because actually yogi also is a word too little for Baba, because he's always Dehi Abhiman. He's not got a Deha, he's not got a body. So that's the secret, that for Baba, since he's constantly having this balance, he can strike this beautiful balance. Therefore, blessings and blissful stage are natural for him. And then Baba says, automatically mercy comes from Baba. So same thing, he says that yeah, now you all don't have to think of having a merciful vision, but you automatically then have mercy. You are merciful. Your task is to always have mercy. So have you become an embodiment of these eternal sanskars? Special sanskars continue to work automatically. You don't have to think about something and then do it, but it happens automatically. Sanskar means automatic, right? Because it's my personality trait. It's there in my system. It's an inbuilt habit, so it will automatically happen. So, what Sanskar Baba wants us to use nowadays, now he's saying in this, is eternal Sanskars, Anadi. Again and again, you continue to say, "Oh Baba, my Sanskars are like this, and so this is why that happened. That wasn't my intention, that wasn't my aim, but it just happened. Why?" So, because of those sanskars, you say this, don't you? Many say that they didn't become angry, but that their way of speaking is like that. Interesting, we say that, right? My volume is like that. So, what does this prove? That those temporary sanskars of yours automatically make you speak and act in that way. So, therefore, just consider what the eternal and original sanskars of you elevated souls are. These are the two which Baba always says. Eternal is Anadi and original is Adi. Adi means my deity form, the sanskars of the deity form. To be constant, so what are those? So in both of these, Adi and Adi, original and eternal, what is the sanskar? To be constantly full and an embodiment of success. Sada Sampan Sampurna and Safalta Murat, the Safalta Swarup. And along with that, a constant bestower of blessings and a great donor. So Vardani and Mahadani. Great donor is Mahadani. So by remembering aware of these sanskars, you automatically have the vision of mercy for everyone. So now Baba is touching upon how to transform the sanskars. So use your eternal sanskars to transform your temporary sanskars. When your eternal sanskars emerge, all of those different obstacles will easily be finished. Even now, Babdada cannot bear to see his children having to labor in the service of self transformation and world transformation. मेहनत के संस्कार दिखते हैं हमारे, मोहब्बत के नहीं, right? How is it possible that you are God's helpers and that you have to still labor? Doesn't match. Others are able to accomplish their tasks simply by taking His name, but you are the ones with all the rights. So here comes Adhikari and Adhin. So even in the path of devotion, Baba says, devotees take my name, and just my taking my name, they feel, oh, the task is done. And you, my direct children, my direct progeny, Mukvanshavali, having all the rights, Varse ke Adhikari, the fortune which we have, inheritance which we have everything. But despite that, we're still thinking, oh, whether it will happen or not. Doesn't match. So how is it possible that you are having to labor? It is because you make a very small mistake. And what mistake is that? Do you know what mistake you make? You do know it very well. Baba is saying that. So then why do you make the mistake? Do you feel compelled? It is just a small mistake. And what is that? We say my. Baba, it's my nature, mera swabhav, mera sanskar. So instead of considering them to be of the eternal period, you consider them to be of the middle period. Means Madhya ke sanskar coming from the copper age, Dwapar Yuga, which means the sanskars of Maya. And the mistake you make is to consider that nature and those sanskars of the middle period to be your nature and sanskars. That is Ravan's nature, not yours. So again in the five forms which Baba says that remember. So we spoke about eternal and original. Then Baba speaks about further in the confluence age. Remember your Brahman form and your Farishta, that is the angelic form. So the fifth form is the middle, but in the middle, you don't have to remember that you have fallen. No. You have to remember your Pujya Swarup, your worship worthy form that will help us elevate. So, this is the way the Swadarshan Chakra we have to keep uh, churning again and again and keep moving it. And remember that middle period, Pujya Swarup, worship worthy form, not the form that I have fallen down. So the mistake you make is of considering something foreign to be your own. And Baba says that in Hindi, Ravan ki cheez apne paas rakh li hai, to Ravan tang karega, because you have kept his property with yourself. It's foreign, it's not yours. So by saying and considering something to be yours, you become subservient to it. And then you are unable to let go even though you want to. So do you understand the mistake you make? Therefore, always remember I'm God's helper. Do not think I did this, but that God did it through me. Okay? So I can completely annihilate this consciousness of I. So Karavan har la jao, Karan har nahi. I am not doing it. Baba's getting it done through me. So by having this one awareness, you can easily finish the seed of all the problems for all time. The seed of all the problems lies in just these two words. What are these two words which enable obstacles to emerge? Do you know through which door the obstacles are able to enter? What are these two famous words? There is a great expansion of them, but the essence of everything is included in these two words. So, what are those in Hindi? Beautiful ones: Abhiman and Apman, arrogance and insult. So, it's very simple. Either I feel that I am doing something all the time, and second is someone touches my ego somewhere or says something to me, then hi, hi. You know, oh, how could he say this to me? Who is he to say? I feel that feeling of being let down or insulted, so on and so forth. And not only this insult in a big way, even when someone says something or the other which is not according to what I like, then I start feeling very bad, low mood, depressed, so on and so forth. And for that soul, then my Shubh Bhavna, Shubh Kamna doesn't emerge. So this is a big trail of cycle which starts. So rather than ego nowadays, actually, or ahankar or arrogance, abhiman, it's more of apman, the feeling of insult. So in the field of service, it is especially through these two roads that obstacles come. Either you think I did this and have arrogance about it, or you think, why was I not placed at the front? Why was this said to me? Or even other levels. Why was this service not given to me? Let me see who can do this service better than me. Baba says, side mein aa jao, bache. There are many who are there in line. If you're not doing it, there are many who I will get it done through. So this way you feel insulted, and this arrogance and the feeling of being insulted appear in various forms as obstacles. They are vighan. You're God's helpers, and the Father is Karan Karavanhar. Then where does this arrogance come from? And how are you insulted? No way. And so this is a small mistake, isn't it? But its consequences are bizarre. There are a lot of consequences of it. And then in such circumstances, do you feel that your yoga, will you be able to have yoga with Baba? No. You will sit to meditate and constantly you'll recollect that what happened, that thing, why did this happen, so on and so forth. So this is why you're told not to separate yourself from God whilst doing service, to remember the combined form, God and his service. So do you not know how to do this? It is very easy. So by remembering this, you will be liberated from having to labor. So no mehnat, only mohabbat in Baba's everlasting love, do the service. Baba is getting it done from me. He and me are companions combined together. And arrogance, insult, there's no scope for that to come because Baba is combined. We never say Baba is the ocean of arrogance or ocean of insults. No. Baba is the ocean of mercy, ocean of love. So when I'm with that ocean, which is full of all the virtues and powers, all these obstacles will do bye bye from a distance. Baba says ki, what does he say in Hindi? Dur se hi salam karenge, tata bye bye karenge, right? So therefore, do you understand what you have to do? Achha, so in summary, what we have to do is use our eternal and original sanskars. And as he started the Murli, consider yourself to be companions and combined rather than just servers. Khudai Khidmatgar. And the third thing which he said is change your title not just to servers but God's servers or godly servers. So this is the essential takeaway from today's Murli. So we'll just finish it by summarizing, as Baba always in the end he does, by giving remembrance and namaste. And he's not like any other sadhu, sant, or guru. He's the Sat Guru. He doesn't just give you remembrance and namaste, yad pyar, but he tells us what, he summarizes everything. So, to those who are constantly the embodiments of the awareness of their eternal sanskars. So, Smriti Swarup of what? Anadi sanskars. To those who constantly experience the Father to be Karan Karavanhar and themselves to be the Father's instruments. And to those who are constantly in their eternal form of bliss. To the powerful souls who destroy the seed of all types of obstacles. And to such souls who are the Father's constant companions, Sada. To God's servers, Bapdada's love, remembrance and Namaste. And हम रूहानी बच्चों की भी रूहानी बाप को Namaste. So I'll stop sharing the screen and then we'll spend a moment in silence and start sharing. So you could start sharing now. Sorry, Bijit Bhai, I just read it now. Was I not audible all the while? I'm sure I was.
There were other noise in between, but later it got fixed.
Later it got corrected. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. So Baba sees, Baba sees children laboring a lot in service and also in self-transformation. So the reason Baba says is, we are forgetting our natural nature, and we say that it is my nature. We will, take Ravan Sanskar, and then we start saying that it is my nature. So Baba says our natural nature is, the original Sanskar. So we have to constantly remember that. So which is going to help us get into our eternal Sanskar. So that's the point to take home.
Today's Murli is all focused on, while we're doing service, always remember that the service is in the name of God. So one reflection is, even in the Lokik world, wherever we are staying, all the souls where we have relationship as mother, father, and we're staying in the family, is even when we're staying in the family, can we stay in the consciousness that I am here sent by God to serve these souls. So bringing the alokikness even in the lokic space by every moment having God as your companion and then serving. Baba says that's the place to stand in, and that's the practice which touched me from today's Murli. And for the same, Baba has given analogies as to how in the Lokik world, if there's something which is impossible, you've been asked to take God's name and then do it, and success would be seen. So very deeply, Baba has ingrained that space of Khuda, be a Khudai Khidmatkar, and don't just be a Khidmatkar.
And the door that Baba says is the two words, which come in the form of obstacles. And so Baba says arrogance against it, demand and woman. So we have to realize that, and this is the block, that which you need to clear it. So Baba would like to see us combined and to have that awareness that is Baba, the current Karavana is getting it done. So Baba would like to see us having this awareness all the time.
Om Shanti Prabhu. I remember for a long time, when like before Baba mentions about I'm God's helper, the Bible always mentioned as the Lord is my helper. I trust him. I'm helped by him. The Lord is an helper. He does not abandon his children. The Lord is my helper. I shall not fear. But here, if you see here, Baba says, I am God's helper. It's more like a responsibility, which Baba says now I have to do. And it so much is akin to the slogan of the Sakat Muli, I think of yesterday, where Baba says, he says helper, he says you are a spiritual social worker who have to show wandering souls the destination of God's door. So I wanted to know, as a servant of God, so Kudai Kidmatgar, a servant of God, what are the kidmats I have to do to Khuda? Like one, I just was there in the slogan, as God's helper, what is the range of kidmats could I really do to be his good kidmatkar? If suppose we could just find out. One, I just saw showing wandering souls the destination or giving him his introduction. I was just thinking, if suppose we could really, as his helper, how I could really be a perfect helper of God. If suppose you could just give some more of what you think about it as as the kidmats which we could.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So I think all these four subjects come in line, and that's the importance that Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva. Seva is the last subject because all of us are enthusiastic to do Khizmat. Khizmat means Seva or Khidmat in Urdu. So uh, I'll give you the analogy here again. So the question first I'll answer that what are the list or what is the things which we should be responsible for. So Baba says that you are my showpieces in the showcase, and looking at you all, you are a living museum. So looking at you, your chehra chal chalan, your face, your character, your behavior with others, that is the most important form of seva. So being an embodiment of all the virtues and all the powers, and again Baba says all and always, constant. So not that sometime I have this power, sometimes I don't, or sometimes I use this virtue. So being an embodiment always and of all the virtues and powers, it will help. So coming to these four subjects, so Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva, if first thing is we can't start with Seva directly unless we listen to the Murli first, Gyan. That's the most important thing. Daily, drop by drop, it enters my intellect and it starts purifying me. So that's the first. Second thing is, after listening to that, I have to remember Baba to purify myself. So my intellect is getting purified with knowledge, but then I, the soul, have to connect myself to absolve or burn my sins. So second is yoga, which will give me the power. Okay, and power for what? Power to use these gyan points, the points of knowledge, and convert them into inculcation. That's the third subject. Because unless my yoga is good, I won't be able to inculcate the points of knowledge, the gyan which I have heard, into practice. That is the third subject, dharana. And once my these three subjects are perfect, then I'm automatically doing service just by my mere presence, because then my life will become so beautiful and my life will become a service for Baba. So that way, then souls will look at me and looking at my behavior, my face, sparkling face, which Baba says again, Chehra, Chal Chalan, that will become a service. And that I will be an embodiment of all the virtues and all the powers all the time. Again, easier said than done. Obviously, we are all on a sort of journey and everyone is number wise. So, how much soever, whatever I can imbibe and inculcate and use it, become an embodiment, and automatically my life becomes a service. So, I think that's what I had to share about these.
Because for me, brother, when the word Kudai Kidmatkar came, I think I can only remember about, I'm not sure about the name, Abdul Ghaffar Khan or somebody, who had this thing called as Servants of God. And I remember even that what were their principles and the rules and all. And I was thinking when Baba introduced this in the Murli, what was that which influenced Baba to use that particular term, Kudai Kidmatkar, in the Murlis. Like sometimes he also says Kuda Dost. And all these kind of really are couched with so much meaning and so much thing. That is why I wanted to know what was the Kidmat where Baba was mentioning here, because I love that word in Hindi more than the English word which just says servants of God. So that's why I had asked. And one more, man, upman. It's really the two A's in Hindi, of course, the two A's, which really pulls down a yogi and which pulls down even in our relationship with God. If Abhiman, is it of my specialities, or Apman, the Ninda Stuti stage. If suppose Baba has just given one paragraph, I don't know whether he's going to continue it tomorrow, but in this paragraph, it was just touched upon. If you could, in your own way, just give little more for us about this Abhiman, that is looking for man now, and Apman, I would appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, so this Murli is just whatever paragraphs we are reading, it's mentioned here. Tomorrow we'll be looking at Bab Dada meeting various parties. So, yes, so again, as you rightly said, Abhiman, it's a beautiful Hindi word, which I remember the senior sisters in Rajyoga Meditation course, when they take it, they tell us, and even I think Baba has also said in Avyak Murlis, if I'm not mistaken, Abhiman बड़ों का and छोटों का, of elders and of younger ones. So the elders feel always that मेरी बात अभी अभी मानो. It's right now you. Sorry, not abhiman. Sorry, abhimano nahi. Abhiman means मुझे अभिमान दो. At the moment, abhi means now, and man dena means you give me respect. So the elders feel that they should be respected all the time, right? Because they are elders. So that is actually a seek, always inside that seeking that, oh, I am senior, I am elder, they should respect me, they should talk with me, blah blah, all that. And what do what is the abhiman for juniors, for the ones who are the younger ones? They feel that abhi hamari bhi baat maan lo, which means now even listen to us. So man is respect in one way for the elders, and man is for juniors, it is manna, means to listen to them, because sometimes the juniors feel that no one listens to them, they are not heard of at all. So these are the two beautiful ways that if I am still yearning for this, that oh, someone should give me respect, someone should give me a seat to sit, they didn't call me on the stage, name, fame, all those things, that also is. And if I don't get, then I feel insulted. And for a junior, that oh, no one listens to me, I am still a junior, that will make you feel insulted. So these are various shades of these two aspects of feeling insulted. And as I said, as Brahmins, we may not have ego. Maybe the subtle ego would be there, the royal forms of Maya, but we really get hurt very easily. And even if I'm getting hurt with someone who has told me something, that is a feeling of ego. That ego is because the ego is hurt deep down inside. So getting hurt, getting depressed, even Baba says to that extent that if someone is telling you, he speaks about in yeah the junior sisters who are there in the center, newly surrendered sisters, and if the senior instrument at the center tells her that you go and give a lecture somewhere for professionals, for hi-fi people, and she gets the fear inside, oh, how can I give it to these people, the lock in the logic, how can we give it for them, because they are so hi-fi, they are they are more knowledgeable from the logic point of view. And if that thought of doubt or fear comes inside, oh, how will I be able to do it, then again I'm fail over there. That is also in one way ego, because it is, who am I am not a server here, it's Baba who is getting me done. I'm a godly server. Again, all those consciousness which Baba told us to change. So these are various shades of being feeling insulted and also being egoistic. Yes, someone has written something in the chat box. Okay. What's Radhamani? Yeah,
Manoj Bhai, but
yeah.
when does this Abhiman, how can you call it as arrogance? Because Baba mentioned in the Murli, I'm God's helper. He's the Karavanhar. Then where does arrogance come from? Why do we think, like when we are entrenched that I am God's helper, he's the Karavanhar, then where does arrogance come from?
Yeah, that is the biggest arrogance. My dear sister, when I comes, I am God's helper. I am this, I am that. In Mansa Seva also, when we say, I am giving rays of peace and love to so and so forth someone. So when this, I'll tell you this, I'm going into another big jargon, a big Pandora's box I'm opening of Mansa Seva. When we say, I am doing it, I am doing it. Again, no, who am I to do? I'm just in the middle as an instrument. Because these words Baba says, I and mine, they are the ones who are actually lifting you up as well. And they are the ones which are getting you down. So this subtle ego inside, the subtle thing that yes, I am doing it, and then who else could have been done better than me, something like that. So this word I itself is the ego word, right? So that's what Baba is trying to say. Annihilate that I. Okay, so I'll just read this. Radhamani Behen's, she's mentioned cooperation and success will come when something is done in the name of God. We stars of success illuminate the world with our success. Combine means God shows magic. We are merciful. Our task is to always have mercy and always consider the eternal and original sanskars of elevated souls and ignore two words which we have been churning a lot on, arrogance and insult. Right? Okay. So, Om Shanti, if churnings are over, let's go into meditation mode. You wanted to say something, Jitna Shibulal? Yeah.
Om Shanti.
Yeah.
Baba says not to separate ourselves from God while doing service to remember combined form, God and His service.
Yes, Girjaben, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I was just really churning on. I was churning on the. No.
I think there's some connectivity problem from
Yeah,
your
yeah,
side.
I got it.
Yeah. Hmm.
No. I was just churning on what you said about that subtle ego, because and I think that sister also gave a good link when she said, "Don't separate yourself from God." I
Hmm.
think, as you rightly said, when I come out of the thing and I said, yeah, but everywhere, even in yesterday's Murli, even Baba spoke about I. But I was just thinking, what is that arrogance which I should do when I'm just an instrument? And what insult? If insult, it has to be he is insulted, not I, because uska kaam hum kar rahe hain. Uska ek deepak hum jala rahe hain. So I was just thinking, it's just a thought, but at the end of the day, as you rightly said, I is there, that I did it, it's there. So that subtle form of arrogance, I think, is what Baba is talking, which becomes an obstacle in really becoming God's perfect kidmatkar. I think it's a very big thing to really go deeper to check ourselves. Anyway, thank you very much, Manoj,
Thank you.
for
Thank
the
you, Baba. Yeah.
light
And,
you threw on it.
yeah. And also, this is what we are all taught as servers or even as BK, surrendered brothers, sisters, whatever, all of that, that whenever you do any task, and if people, there's success in every task, but when they tell you, oh good, congratulations, bahut achhi seva hui, blah blah, all that, just say thanks Baba. Just immediately at that very moment surrender it to Baba, because it's his task, we are doing his task, nothing is ours in between, as you also rightly said. So let's just surrender to him immediately and tell them thanks to Baba. Obviously you do acknowledge, don't be rude telling them, oh no, I didn't do, there's no need to say that I didn't do, but just say, oh thanks to Baba, and just put it on to him, so that we don't create accounts with each other, and it's all in his name, it's surrendered to him. Okay, so on
But
that
is it
note,
wrong to
yeah.
feel bad when somebody just says, see, I'm doing God's job, fine. But when somebody says, wow, it was something nice, we heard about God. It's, I don't know, it may be a original nature of a human being. Be like, oh yeah, it's nice. So at that moment, Baba is out
Yeah,
of
it's nice, no
picture.
doubt. It's very good and it's nice. But Let
Yeah.
us just immediately surrender and say, thanks, Baba. Baba did it.
Oh.
Baba ko samarpan. That's it. So that we get that. But therefore, Baba is Shiv zero. Na? We say in Sindhi, Shiv means zero. So get the zero in between. And whenever you have zero in between, no accounts are created with anyone. So then you won't feel elated and you won't feel insulted also. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just be stable, because you are connected to the ocean of stability, right? The moment we say Baba, see, the moment we create a thought of Baba also, we see how our thoughts slow down and we become so stable, because we get connected to the ocean of stability.
Correct.
Right? Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on into the meditation mode. I'll just share the screen, in the sense I'll share some soft music. And let's see what we have to churn on today. Again, let's sit back and hope I'm not cutting off with the music sound. Let me know, otherwise I'll just stop playing the music, Bijit Bhai. Hope I'm not cutting off.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's fine, okay. Yeah. So sitting back, let's relax and look at ourselves as this tiny, conscient being of light. I, the sparkling soul. From today's Murli, if we can just take one takeaway, that I am God's server, God's helper. And every task that I do, every service that I do, let me invoke His presence. Let me be combined with Him and consider Him my companion. And the moment I invoke the Supreme Being, the ocean of all the virtues and powers, it just becomes so easy. Nothing seems impossible. And with these few thoughts, as we move on 1st October today, towards our daily chores, let us just practice this thought of I, the soul, the Karanhar, being combined and in God's companion, who is the Karavanhar. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day.